What is up, everyone out there? My name is Rudy, and welcome to Let's Play Stellaris Zargon Conglomerate. This episode is a bit different because my recording device was randomly not being recognized by my computer, so I went through the entire episode recording it, and turns out I had no audio at the end of it. So there was that, and that's the thing about technology, or anything really, is it's fine if it doesn't work, and it's fine if it works. It's just the times when it doesn't work, it fails silently. That's the real problem. That's when things really go bad. And it's the one thing you need to make sure, things need to be consistent. Inconsistency is what the real issue is in anything. And I had no idea that this would have possibly ever happened, but apparently now, every time I go to record a video, I'm going to have to check to make sure my mic is actively being recognized by my computer. I wonder if maybe it could just randomly cut out some point someday. Hopefully not. So, one thing I found is that somehow this sector became disconnected. I'm not sure how it happened, and I just had to go in there. I had to figure out that it was a Ridland's refuge sector and just add that system back in there, because the planets, since they were disconnected, were suffering huge penalties to resources and just their output in general. I'm not sure if there was a happiness penalty or anything like that, but you just gotta make sure your planets are in connected sectors, and to further aid my sector development, I'm adding tons of resources. I like to have the maximum tax rate on sectors, and then if I need to add minerals to them, I can add minerals that way.
Special project complete.
So what did we complete? Oh yeah, the uplifting. So I finally uplifted these dudes here on this planet. They have a tropical preference, and the great thing about the uplifted races is that they get like a 20% happiness bonus because they're so grateful that you made them sentient. Of course, when they maybe start getting jobs and they have to worry about things like paying the rent and insurance and all that, I'm not sure how grateful they're going to be about being sentient. But for the moment, they're happy, and they like tropical planets, and this planet is in a sector, so it's like, well, I give them orbital hydroponic farms for the more food so they grow faster, but I can't really interact with my newly pre-sentient species, unfortunately, but that's okay. I'm going to... I'd like to find another tropical planet and send them there and colonize that tropical planet. That'd be pretty neat, because then like you have an entire planet of this uplifted species that has this permanent happiness bonus. And I think it'd be like, if early on in the game you find a pre-sentient species and you uplift them, and then you can make the majority of your empire that species with just this bonus happiness, that'd be amazing. So that's something I'm definitely going to keep in mind for the future. But as I look around, I find there are 0 tropical planets to be found in my empire. Now, one thing that's interesting is that these are some tomb worlds that I did not originally realize were in my empire, and there's also another primitive civilization here that I'm going to try. I don't know if I'm going to uplift them. I think I might just keep them in their current late medieval state and just harvest them, well, study them for the society research. They are in the late medieval age, so I'm not sure if they will ever, in the time frame of this game, if they will ever actually make it to spaceflight. Of course, one would expect, I mean, humans from late medieval age, it's been, what, like 500 years? I don't know what is considered the late medieval age exactly, but it's taken us that long to get this far, and these Stellaris games usually only go 200, 300 years before you kind of really reach the end of it. Of course, the game could go on forever, but you eventually reach a point where you've done everything. So now I'm looking for some droids to colonize this tomb world with. One useful feature would just be something to show you the ideal population candidates. Like, I don't see why you really care what planet they're coming from, because it's just like I'm like when you build a colony ship, it's not like you're removing a population unit from that planet. So I don't see why I should care where the population unit is coming from in the first place. I just want to find something with good habitability for the planet and the ethoses that I desire. And I love Tomb Worlds a lot. Something inspirational about them with all these bomb craters and abandoned ghostly cities. It's interesting to think about what might have happened or transpired who knows how long ago in the past. Some catastrophic nuclear war, maybe it was started by some people refusing to compromise or some technical accident. And there's some neat event chains related to Tomb Worlds. Well, actually, the only real event I know related to Tomb Worlds is that you can find the particle accelerator sometimes. But hopefully we'll see some more in this playthrough. So I believe I am looking for another planet to add into a sector, because I'm at 6 of 5, it looks like, and I'm trying to figure out what planets to add. Or actually, no, I'm thinking about tearing down some frontier outposts so I get the more influence. But I'm really not sure which frontier outposts I could tear down. I'm not sure how it's going to affect my borders, but I feel like I could tear down these two sort of on this sort of section of my empire, because I have these huge developed colonies out there providing empire borders for me. So maybe I could just tear down those outposts. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I mean, I think one thing I mentioned then when I thought I was recording is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But then again, maybe my lack of influence is the broken element that needs to be fixed. And so looking at Haramuth, I mean, Haramuth has a lot of stuff to do here. This is a huge planet. There's going to be lots of population, lots of opportunity for research and energy production. So even I'm hesitant to put it into a sector because I want to do all of this colonial development. But at the same time, you know, I'm a planet over the limit. So I should put something into a sector because it's affecting my energy output and influence generation. So one thing I've realized is I somehow seeded this planet deep within enemy territory and I can't add it to a sector. It's stuck there. I need to go to another war and conquer more territory before I can actually put that planet into a sector. And which is kind of because what happened, I mean, I only seeded one planet from the target system. I must have missed something in the list, some other planet that I should have seeded, because then I could have gained control of that entire system and gained more territory. But that is not the case. And it looks like we finished integrating our vassal subject, which is great. And here I'm just doing some more, or I'm thinking about adding this planet to a sector actually, but there's no sectors I can connect it to, so it would be its own sector, which I guess is fine. But at the same time, that's another planet I want to continue working on developing. So right, so I've integrated these vassals. Now I have so many more planets in my core sector that I need to put into a sector, which I do now, including all these worlds. I also add in the Lando system. And yeah, I'm just going to give all these planets there. So the sector can have, you know, the minerals it needs to work and conduct its daily business. And I actually decide to call the sector the Lando sector. So I have the Pop-Tart sector, the Lando sector. I should name more things as I go, because it makes it so much easier to keep it all in your head and think about it. Like, what am I going to do with the Lando sector, as opposed to what am I going to do with that random sector with some randomly generated name? Who knows? And I put them on a financial focus, aka energy focus. Like, I don't know what they want us to think. Like, that there's some kind of financial markets going on and somehow energy is involved. Like, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Well, I mean, in my opinion, finances would be the like any sort of fiat currency would be the sum total of all the assets and productivity of a society. So that would also include mineral output, research output, population growth, building construction, all kinds of things. So I don't get why financial focus is considered to be energy. Like, energy is its own thing, independent of financial markets, I would think. I guess energy is like a universal medium of exchange between empires. But energy isn't exactly universal, because energy would be... it's so much dependent upon hardware. And who says that the hardware is universal? I'd feel like minerals would be more universal than energy. But now we're building droids on our new, not quite so shiny, rather dusty tomb world, but we'll polish it up, make it an amazing robot planet where they live happily, completely fine with all the radiation around them. I hope there's like a Rad Roach event. Like, I don't know, we'll see. I don't know what kind of events you can really get with the tomb world. I know there's some out there, and I know about the particle accelerator, but that's all. Oh, so now I'm deciding to add New Zargon into a sector. Now, New Zargon has been a planet I've enjoyed quite a bit. The second colony of the Empire, or I guess I should say the first colony of the Conglomerate. But now it's time to give them away, give them to a sector, because I don't want to be over the limit anymore. And I'm sort of thinking, like, what planets do I want to keep in my core sector? Like, I want a good set... Or what systems do I want to keep in my core sector? I want a good set of systems, preferably with multiple planets. But I think all of my current systems in my core sectors only have one planet. Oh, and I also added some systems into that sector with uncolonized planets. I don't think I've seen a sector colonize a planet yet, and I'd like to keep my eye on that. And I'm going to recruit some more governors, because I actually have quite a few governors that are available. I'm not sure why they stopped working wherever they are working. Maybe because their planets were added into a sector. That must be it. And so I assigned a bunch of governors to a bunch of different sectors, greatly improving the productivity of my empire, no doubt. And also assign an old governor. I forget what his name is. I'm assigning a governor to my capital planet. What's his name? Looks like it was Zax. At the age of 128, but he has many good years left in him, and he can really bring some governmental organization to our capital planet, make it much better, clean up the streets, make the traffic flow better, all that kind of stuff. It's a challenging problem. You know, it's easy to build a city from scratch. It's much harder to take a pre-existing city and making it more efficient. But that is his job. His job indeed. And yeah, we're going to need the advanced shields now. Can't say no to a better shield, because it's basically just better than the previous shield design in every respect. There's no reason to not research better shields. Ah yes, and our spaceport at the Tomb World is ready to be fully upgraded. Well, this is pretty much all that there is for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I am still a bit disgusted at the way my mic was behaving earlier, but overall I think it all turned out okay. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you are not subscribed, and hope to see you for the next episode of the Zargon Conglomerate.